So would you like a review, a list of topics that could potentially be upsetting to you? Veins Like Tapeworms is a horror visual novel that is not suitable for children under 17 or for people that are easily disturbed. Yes, spoil me. Thank you for your continued interest in Veins Like Tapeworms. These topics are discussed and sometimes shown in-game. Cannibalism, many people get bitten or eaten one way or another throughout the game. There are written and visual portrayals within the game. Transphobia. Demian's family is often portrayed as abusive or disrespectful towards Demian's gender identity, going so far as to kick them out for being non-binary. Gender dysphoria. Demian is very dysphoric, having a disconnect towards their own body and seeing it as a cocoon that never hatched. This is portrayed oftentimes within the writing and abstractly portrayed in the art. Blood and gore. There are multiple instances of blood and gore within Veins Like Tapeworms in both art and writing. Murder. The main plot of Veins Like Tapeworms is unfolding Demian's mental descent and revealing a desire to kill people. Detailed discussions of portrayals of murder is shown within the game. Okay. Familicide. Demian has many in-depth and violent thoughts about familicide. Additionally, there is an in-depth written and visual portrayal of familicide in one ending of the game. I mean, honestly, given how their family treated them, fair. I don't blame them for that. Vomiting. Vomiting is a major theme of Veins Like Tapeworms and is often used to further the plot. There are multiple written and visual descriptions of vomiting instances. Body horror. Body horror is one of the most prominent themes of the game. Demian is twisted in many unsettling ways, both in a written and visual portrayal, and digs into their feelings about it. Ooh. Hey, Whisper, welcome in! Hell yeah, I hope they do. I am eager for this. Let's see. Continuing on. Depression and self-loathing. Similar to Demian's dysphoria, there are multiple written portrayals about the heavy implications regarding Demian's self-loathing. Disembowelment. There are written and visual portrayals of disembowelment within optional scenes late in the game. For one portrayal, the screen is blurred heavily, but the implication is outright. For another, players are given the choice to look down and face a disembowelment, or to keep the image cropped above. The full image is uncensored in the gallery, but previews crop the image above or below the disembowelment. Also, I like this little flippy flu thing here. Animal abuse, death. There are multiple written depictions of animals being abused or killed, including cats, rats, and a bird. There is no visual illustrations to depict this harm. Oh, shit. If you're an animal, get veined, worm boy! Hi, thank you so kindly for playing Veins Like Tapeworms! Hey, Trinket, welcome in! And yes! Excitement! I was so happy when I finished the other two games last week, because I'm like, yes! I can play it already so quickly! This is gonna be great! But also, I can foresee my throat getting thrashed, because I will be voicing everything. Let's see, alcohol abuse. There are two major scenes within chapters 4 and 5 where Demian abuses alcohol in an attempt to forget their abuse and mounting problems. I have become Merb! And mounting problems with Slice? I'm assuming? Most of the alcoholism is avoidable, with players given a choice to stop early or only encountering the event in a worse route. Okay. You can turn on content warnings within the options menu at any time. Would you like to enable them now? Within the options. You know what? Sure, seeing as I am gonna be putting these out to YouTube later, it'll probably be very helpful to, help people avoid things they don't want to see. Damn, that music good. Also, now that I see, like, how wide it is, I can nudge this over a little. Bring that out. There we go. Let's see. Now we lock it in place so it doesn't move around. Options. Volume. Master volume. Oh. No, go back. I'm gonna lower it to like 60. I got the sensitive barb ears. You're not gonna believe this, but all the smiley faces, hell yeah. Reduce flashing lights. Because of faint mist. General. Oh, speaking noises, hell yeah. Text speed. Let's lower it a hair. Alright. Welcome, one and all, to Veins Like Tapeworms. Beauty and Rot, Rot and Beauty. A game by the illustrious Awesome Trinket. When games start, the master volume at lower level is top 10 moments, right? I just still have to lower it even more. Can you all hear it okay just fine? It's not like too low. Okay. That's 1 for an okay. No theme 6, 0 out of 10. It's good on here. Okay, that's 2. Excellent. We are about to see a young NB's descent into madness, and their veins may become tapeworms. We will see. Beep. Chapter 1. Corpse Soup. It sounds like corpse soup is terrible. Life is a Sisyphean hellscape, and Demian's grip on their proverbial boulder is starting to slip. Okay, maybe put that back up. There we go. Uh-oh, why is that CG not showing up? It's okay, it happens. Yeah, I hadn't got to it yet. I might be a big delay. Yeah, don't worry too much about it. I have like maybe a 6-second delay on my streams. They weren't really sure when they reached their breaking point. If they had to wager a guess, though, it was right around when they watched the cops cart the body out of room 103 last week. If it wasn't then, it was today, when the shithead manager Carl waited for the room to be released from investigation. When all the hubbub died down and Demian was 30 minutes away from clocking out, he'd pulled them aside and said they needed to clean the blood out of 103's tub. How fun. I'm not qualified to clean that, Demian told him. People aren't going to ask, Carl coaxed. Come on, we can't afford a specialist. It's literally a biohazard. Only if it gets inside you, just be careful. Come on, Demian, please, do us all a favor. Oh, God. Fuck you, Demian thinks. Yeah, fine, sure. Aw. Okay. We got a body and some blood for murder. Don't get them wrong, Demian is handling life. Decently enough. You know, Demian fucking mood. They already had their earth-shattering, world-ending breakdown last month. The results of that are still visible in Demian. They chopped off so much of the long dark hair that Ma had always gushed about before bleaching and dyeing it as close to white as they could get it. The result looked like a toddler got a pair of scissors and a bottle of mustard. Luckily for Demian, it's had time to grow in and looks a bit less lopsided. Still though, to call it a sloppy hag job would be doing it a favor. Sometimes it just be like that. And hey, there are perks to having short hair. For one thing, Demian doesn't have to put it in a bun to keep it from dipping into a bathtub full of blood and bleach. Yeah. They're not sure why the Restful Night Motel has such an allure to those with debts to pay and grudges to settle. Sure, being in the outskirts of Kingsfield Beach's seedier parts meant that the guests were going to be a bit more colorful than Demian would expect. This, though, this is really something else. Demian is a toddler confirmed. It's fucked up is what it is, Demian thinks to himself while yanking off a black rubber glove. Some average Tom who pissed off the wrong Dick tries to flee to a motel and lay low. Dick finds Tom and kills him to get even, and now poor little Harry has to clean up the mess Tom and Dick left behind. Ha! Demi wouldn't mind being in Dick's spot. They'll even take being Tom. Oh, Jesus. They clap a hand over their nose. The good hand, the one that hasn't been wrist-deep in bodily fluids, and hold back a gag. The odor permeating through the air is so thick in Demian's nose. It's almost too sweet, but the foul stench of rust is definitely there, just as an undertone. Let's see, I will be teasing the game, but remember, love you bunches! I'm honestly still really enjoying it. The writing is very good. It's like good soup, but good writing. Cause yeah, like, bodies and stuff, especially like when bodily fluids are left to decay, they do have like a cloying scent to them. Yeah, Trinket's done a lot of really great art for this. I've been meaner to it on better days. This is true. I've seen all the shit you posted about it in Hawk's server. Demian grits their teeth and squeezes their eyes shut. A few heavy breaths through their mouth will get them through the next few minutes. Hopefully. I hear in the medical field what they do is they'll get some, like, some vapor rub. It's like specifically mint vapor rub, stick that under their nose and then put that in on the mask, or they'll put it in the mask itself and double them up so that when they have to deal with some of the worst smells, the vapor rub covers up most of it. This one little thing is all they need to do before they're off work today. Then they can lie down in bed and do their best to forget about it. You can do this, Zhao. Don't lose your shit. Clocking out's in sight. Demian sucks in a breath, takes their hand off their mouth, and gets to scrubbing the chipped ceramic. They're finally at the point where the blood is coming off, instead of smearing around like dragging a slimy paintbrush on a canvas. Ugh. Soon enough, it'll all collect at the bottom of the tub, and they can send it swirling down the drain. You're all done? Margaret smiles at Demian. They can feel the nasty sneer behind that grin, even through the niceties Margaret presents herself with. We will remain civil, because honestly, given that if she is supposed to be the cunt of the workplace, you never really want to give them ammunition. So we'll be passive-aggressive instead of directly confrontational. Demian tightens their jaw and hisses the response through their teeth. Yeah, finally, they say. It's amazing how fast your art improves when you draw the same little shit for 250 plus CGs. Yeah, pretty much, Trinket. Like, when you're just going brrrr and just scribbling them all out, you do improve really quickly. Still gotta work with them, you know? Yeah, exactly, some say. It would be nice to tell Carl's daughter they can see right through her whole sickly sweet shtick, but Demian can't risk losing their job. Oh god, nepotism, my old foe. Maybe some other day. Like, if Demian won the lottery. Yeah. Or killed someone. Are you okay? Seeing that would take a toll on anyone. Margaret sighs and looks up at the midnight sky. Thick gray clouds roll in further by the second. It's going to rain or snow soon, and Demian isn't sure which. Oh, so I guess it must be like later in the year. Or really early, depending. Oh wait, no, they said January, so it's early in the year. Fuck. Fine. Demian relaxes their grip on the cleaning cart's gaudy yellow handle. Nothing I can't deal with anyway. I'll get over it. Probably. Alright, yeah. Sure. Margaret breaks eye contact. Demian studies the sky. There are long black streaks in the clouds. Yeah, it's gonna snow soon. The stilted silence seems to drag on for hours. No doubt, Margaret can tell she's not fooling Demian. She's the first to stop the torment. Well, I gotta get going. I'm gonna miss the bus. Yeah, I'm going to, Demian says. Their stomach is rumbling so damn loud. As soon as they can, they're going into the city to stock up on some food. Their payment's gonna be coming in a few days, so Demian can afford to get a little extra. Hell yeah! Snack cakes! Honestly, I don't think TTRPGs are for me. I tried once in COVID, but I understood none of the D&D roles and got walloped. Oh no. Also, Rex, CG stands for computer graphics, but in, like, the RPG Maker sphere, it's usually just in reference to, like, art graphics. Like, this is a CG. The background is a CG. It's more of an antiquated term. It's kind of been generalized, given a generalized purpose. There are better games for new peoples, but I getcha. Yeah. Honestly, TTRPGs really do depend. I think a very fun one for beginners would be Monster of the Week, just because there's very little you have to actually keep track of. Whereas in D&D, it can either be a lot or very little. It just depends on your DM and how much they're willing to put up with. See, I love Battletech. I used to play it with my brother. That sounds fun. Let's see, going on. Rent is pretty much costing an arm and a leg, so any moment where they aren't dipping into their paltry savings is a moment well enjoyed. Hell yeah. The two go on their separate ways. Thank God. Any longer and Demian would have... Nope, not going down that path, not gonna tempt myself. I mean, it can be. It just depends on how you play it, Rex. But it is more of like a battle simulator. Let's see. Miriam leans over and calls out a greeting as Demian pushes the glass door open. Her voice is familiar to their ears. Hey, welcome to the Quick Stop Shop. I'll help you out in a second. Don't get excited, Webster. It's just me, is Demian's flat response. There's a new lilt in her tone that wasn't there beforehand. Oh, Demian! Hi, how's it going? It's going, I guess. They advance into the store. The lights hanging above Demian and Miriam's heads wash everything in a cold tinge. Colorful, fatty snacks line the shelves to Demian's left. Close enough. Welcome back, no time for mercy. Hey, crazy, welcome in. How you doing, Stu? I'm not sure what you prefer. Let's see. Monster of the Week. There's even a monster fucker roll. Yeah, there is. There genuinely is, and it's fucking hilarious. I have respect for those, but won't play them myself. I personally like playing the unhinged one. Although the last time I played Monster of the Week, I was basically just Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was fun to bonk people with a rolling pin. Anyway. Doing alright, and I'm good for you. That doesn't matter much for me. Ay, okay. Also, back to the game we get. The stench of seafood is especially strong today. Demian swallows the bile rising in the back of their throat. Fresh fish smells like the ocean and cucumbers is a lie that they've never bought into. I mean, it smells like high tide and low tide. That's the ocean, right? Fresh fish, in fact, smells like a swamp on a hot summer day and sheer hatred. Actually, you know what? Fair, that's a lot closer. And today that hatred is seeping into every corner of the store. Trying to keep their voice steady, Demian asks, "Did the fish guy come in early or something?" Miriam pauses, her brows undoubtedly furrowed the way it always is when she needs to think. I think so. I just clocked in for the night shift. You'd have to ask Luna tomorrow. She was at the store when we got our deliveries. Oh. High-pitched mewling punches through the muffled pop music ringing in Demian's ears. They perk up and look around the store. It only takes a few seconds for them to find the culprit. Bodega cat! A large cat with orange fur speckled with white spots is curled up tight in a cardboard box. A towel lines the interior. He looks comfortable with his eyes shut and tail twitching upwards. Demian smiles softly and kneels down to pat the top of his head. I guess this guy's happy about it, though, they remark. It's only now that Miriam pokes her head out of the eyelash she's been so enraptured with. Thick, mousy hair is tied up into a tight braid, her glasses shining under the store lights. Yeah, he's been chatting up a storm since I clocked in. That's a good sign. Means he's warming up to you guys, they say without looking away from the cat. Don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to have a cat too. Just like this one here. Really? Mm-hmm. She didn't know how to meow, so she just kind of screamed. But I thought it was funny. Named her Tabby, short for Tabisca. Like the hot sauce? Yeah. I don't even like the stuff. It tastes like shit to me. Demian looks over their shoulder and locks gazes with Miriam. But Tabisca works as a cat name, so Tabby it is. Oh, that's so cute! Standing up, they grab a nearby shopping basket and start to throw ramen packets into it. Demian figures it's a good idea to leave out the part where Pa hit Tabby with a car and didn't tell them. Oh, that sucks. Mentioning to Miriam how they found her buried in the woods days later would probably put a damper on them. Oh, God. Pat, 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 pat. Gushing on and on about how funny Demian is, Miriam sits down the plastic milk crate filled with canned drinks. While kneeling, she reaches out to pet the cat. I don't think we've all thought of an official name for our little mascot yet. Luna calls him Flip Flop, but I think he's more of a juice to me. I received head pats! Thank you. Honestly, little Flip Flop sounds adorable. I'm kind of leaning more towards that. Or could just call him Juice Flip. This is Trinket's subtle way of telling the viewer Demian's family is a bunch of maniac assholes. If you ever need some inspiration, Trinket, I got some stories to share. Oh. The response is non-committal. Miriam changes the subject instead of letting Demian go. So, by the way, how's work? They already regret striking up a conversation. Tired eyes stay focused on instant meals. TV dinners and cheap noodles churn the stomach, but it's all Demian can afford. And don't worry, I write from experience too. Yeah. I don't think you want to know the answer. Honestly, if we really don't want her to ask, but we still want to stay on friendly terms, I think being blunt with what we saw might be the best thing. Because if Demian is regretting starting up the conversation, it'll be in their best interest to end it very quickly. And this is a showstopper for conversations for sure. It's okay. Demian holds back their real thoughts. Never a dull day there, I guess. Unrelated, but I think I'm gonna pick up a Lucy today. Maybe two. Her plain face contorts in a sympathetic cringe. That bad, huh? Yeah. Demian only smokes after a particularly stressful shift. Thank God the back and forth ends soon afterwards. Demian's already exhausted from dealing with people all day, more like all week if we're being honest. The last thing they need is more insanity before they can go home and sleep. The cashier, a middle-aged woman named Emily, takes a few seconds to lecture Demian on how the shop really shouldn't be selling them loose cigarettes, so they'd better watch who they tell. Huh. Gotta get back to work, Womp. Have fun? Okay, Zimsy. Hope the rest of your work shift goes well, and we'll be having fun, believe you me. Demian bites their tongue to stop themselves from telling Emily to can it and give them the Lucy already. Ah, the snow's started. There's already a light dusting on the sidewalk, and fat snowflakes drift to the ground. Demian pulls the shoulder of their jacket up further to their neck. They'll probably get something better soon. The zipper on this thing's already busted, so it just hangs off their lanky frame. Hopefully by next week they'll be able to buy a new one. Demian put in extra overtime specifically for the jacket funds. Hell yeah. New jacket hours, let's go. Leaning back against the shop's brick walls, Demian lights a cigarette and takes a long drag. It tastes awful and doesn't feel great. Still, Demian figures that it's the lesser of two evils when compared to what else they could be doing to themselves. Yeah, fair. They blow the smoke out. Bleh, they blow the smoke all out into the air. Tongue-tied. In all honesty, it's peaceful out here. They've never been a big fan of the draft feeling that early January evenings held, but something about this seems different. I just grabbed my phone because I did not start a timer. Let's see. How long have I been playing? 17 minutes? So, like, I can put an hour 20 on. No, an hour 10. There. In all honesty, it's peaceful out here. They've never been a big fan of the drab feeling that early January evenings held, but something about this seems different. Good, but different. For a moment, it almost feels like Demian's troubles are far, far behind them. No worries about paying their rent, everyone's leaving them alone, and the gore they washed down 103's drain is a distant memory that felt years old. Sometimes all it takes is a nice, quiet evening. Now what? The shop's door swings open, and the illusion is broken. Miriam's boots crunch on the snow. Hey, you shouldn't be out here for too long. You'll freeze out here. Frigid winter air bites at Demian's cheeks. The stench of smoke wafts up further into the falling snow. They lower their hand and exhale. Steam clouds puff up the front of their thin lips. They tower over her. Don't give me that, Demian drawls. You know my place doesn't allow smoking. She stares down at her feet. I know, but nothing. I can't afford the ass whooping I'd get. Miriam swallows thick. She clicks her fingernails against one another, looking as if she'd really like to hide within her work uniform. It's too big for her. The poorly tailored dress and apron hang past her hands. Come on, it's cold out. Can't. I told you. I just don't want you to get hypothermia or anything, she finds it in herself to say. Dude, Demian's only been out here for like maybe, looking at the cigarette and a couple of drags, like maybe 5 minutes. They'll be fine. Her cheeks are red. Demian really hopes it's because of the cold, but they know better. Hey, if you ever... I mean, never mind. Take care of yourself, alright? Don't pity me. Yeah, sure. Demian finishes their cigarette, snuffs it, and tosses it into a can once they're sure it's out. Suddenly, they'd really like to be anywhere else but here. See you next week, I guess. Yeah. They turn their back toward Miriam and start walking home. Hey, if you're free anytime soon, I'm on night shift, so I've got free time during the day. So if you ever want to get a coffee or something. Be seeing you, Webster. They've been beating around the bush regarding whatever feelings Miriam has for them. Demi doesn't think she'd be weird about it, but they never had good results telling people about their asexuality. Don't keep Emily waiting back there. Right. Good on Demian for making sure this thing— yeah, right? Demian didn't mean to be so harsh to her. In all honesty, talking to Miriam doesn't make them want to pull themselves out of their skin. They're just... they don't have the words to describe it. It's that deeply uncomfortable feeling when you know someone is into you, but you aren't into them in the same way. Or at least that's the vibe I'm getting. But you're in a situation where you have to interact with them. And it's the dread of having to try to explain that you're just not that into it. Hold on, there are things... yeah, I fed them ages ago. Yes. Okay, apparently the cats are just being little shits. But I know this feeling. I felt it on and off through the years. She's a bit of a dullard in their opinion. Definitely unobservant as hell, but they wouldn't call her a dick or something. Ah, so she's oblivious. But it'd be weird to turn around and clarify now. With unspoken words on the brain, Demian keeps their head down and walks home. Miriam wasn't kidding. It is cold tonight. The tips of Demian's fingers are already numb by the time they make the trek back to the restful night motel. The black midnight sky only draws their exhausted eye to the neon pink sign hanging in the parking lot. The O is flickering on and off. It's almost pretty, they think. The nasally voice that feels like razors in Damian's brain breaks their concentration. Hey, Damian! Fuck. They look up to see Carl's face twisted in some parody of an apologetic smile. Blah, blah. Bertelia's not wanting to work tonight. What the hell? Yeah, what's wrong? Oh, whoops, wrong voice. Yeah, what's wrong, sir? Please don't. You of all people know how badly the economy is doing these days. And you're not making it easier. The motel's barely making it as it is. Whose fault is that? Oh. So I hope you understand that I might not be able to give you your overtime pay this week. It'll be there the next time, I promise. I call bullshit on that. I hope you drown in your own piss. Sure, I can wait. There go the jacket funds. Well, I won't hold you up for long. It's cold out, and I know you want to rest. You don't seem to have been sleeping well lately. Golly gee willikers, almost as if financial insecurity is dwelling over our head. Jackass. Wow, I wonder why! Thank you, sir. See you tomorrow. See you. They part ways, Demian walking toward the motel with a pounding heart, clenched jaw and shaking fists. The walk to their room is familiar. Go up the crumbling concrete stairs, turn a left, and head on into room 205. Don't shit where you eat or sleep is a motto Demian has had to tell himself for 4 years, though in their new arrangement with Carl, eat and sleep are pretty much interchangeable. Oh. Next part of the routine. Slot the key in the sticky lock, jiggle it a bit, wish they had enough money to live anywhere else except the motel. In a weird way, Demian does feel a bit grateful toward Carl. Even if they were living in one of the more run-down rooms that he was too cheap to fix, it was still a place to sleep on top of their payment, all in cash and under the table, of course. All Demian had to do in exchange was a little more work. Like cleaning up after a dead body. So what I'm hearing is Carl is exploiting you. Step 3. Demian slams their shoulder against the door and cringes at the stings of pain. The lock seems to get worse in the colder weather. Oh! There we go. Ouch! Demian swipes the snow off the doorstep and throws himself at the wood again. It pops open way too easily, sending Demian tumbling to the threadbare carpet. You good? The ramen bags scatter across the floor. Groaning lowly, Demian sits up and rubs her shoulder. At least it didn't dislocate, but the bones sure hurt like hell. They'd like to lie there for a few hours, unblinking and unmoving, but in the end, Demian slams their door shut and crouches down to pick up their food. The motel's air conditioner rattles in Demian's ears, drawing the mildewy odors away for another night. It's fine. Nothing's broke. Everything's fine. Demian swings the bag of food onto the nightstand. Maybe it'd be nice to have a bath and relax before they eat. Their fingers still feel so unclean. Need to get one of them, like, little scrub brushes for the fingernails. Even through the gloves and the cleaning chemicals. The bathroom light buzzes at an uncomfortable volume. Demian pulls the shower curtain back and stares down at the tub. Instead of relief, stress floods their veins. Even if their tub is bleached clean enough to eat from, their mind's eye brings back memories of crimson sludge and skittering cockroaches slurping at their... Ugh. Nope, maybe tomorrow. They shut the curtain. Demian turns on the sink to scrub their hands until their fingertips are raw. They look up and stare at the trash bag covering their mirror. It was for their own good, really. Looking at their own reflection only makes them miserable. Ugh. Demian's really thanking their lucky stars they didn't grow up to be a neat freak. Otherwise, they'd be going even more insane than they already are. Wriggling maggots, steaming vomit, and crawling beetles in the moldy walls is one thing. But Demian will get over it, like they always do. They have to. If they break down again, who knows what they'll do? Quit? Get fired? Who knows? Shit! Demian grunts through the pain. Looking down, they see the back of their left hand dripping with blood. The right one grips the scrubber tight enough to dent the palm. Sighing deep, Demian puts down the brush and runs their hand under hot water. Stinging sensations fill their fingers. Rivulets of pink flow into the drain, the remnants of watered-down blood leaving its mark in the basin. They've been sighing a lot these days. Demian can't really help it. The next few minutes are a bit of a blur. Demian didn't have any bandages, so the best they could do was clean out the abrasion and hope it would scab up in the meanwhile. After that, dinner consisted of a plastic cup of noodles made in the motel microwave. All the nights of ramen as meals are probably going to come and bite Demian in the ass one of these days, but they're too tired to care. Besides, they can mask the plasticky flavors with stronger seasonings. Damn, Demian whistles to himself while staring out the window. The snow was growing more and more intense by the minute. As much as they hate this place, Damien's glad they aren't on the streets anymore. Nights like these would be nothing short of misery. But hey, they have a roof over their head and a stable job. A leaky roof and a soul-sucking job, but still a roof and a job. Any port in a storm! So maybe it isn't that bad here. Yeah, you know, perspective. And any and all good feelings Damien might have been collecting are evaporated the moment the music starts. It's loud, thumping, and startles the ever-loving shit out of them. Demian jolts. Their ramen slips out of their hands. Fuck. Orange broth spills across the table onto the floor and splashes on their scratched hand. Leaping to their feet and knocking over a plastic chair, Demian does their best to clean up the mess, grumbling to themselves the whole way. Their hand hurts so bad. Mixtures of the heat and seasoning only irritates their raw skin. Their gaze turns upward toward the wall they share with the music blasting neighbor. At least Demian has the decency to wear headphones when they want to play music so loud it makes their bones rattle. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, for the love of fucking God, shut up! Shut that music off! The urge to go and give a piece of their mind grows deeper. I'm just enjoying the music, hold on. Now, the question becomes, though, we are staying here, we're both staying here and getting paid here under the table. So, would it be in our best interest to actually confront them? Because if they complain to the front desk, what would that mean for Demian? That's what I would like to know. It's like, best case scenario, we confront them and they do lower the volume. But if we're in, like, as Demian has mentioned, the worst part of town, then they might get their shit kicked in if we do try to confront them. You know what? I'm about helping Demian survive, so you know what? Fuck it. It's not worth the effort. Demian trashes the noodle cup. Low growls form in the back of their throat. If they stay here any longer and listen to this bullshit, they're going to go insane. Slinging their jacket back over their shoulders, Demian clutches their motel key and heads outside. Cheese curls would make a decent replacement for dinner right about now. The vending machine near the lobby still sort of worked, a fact that saved Damien's ass quite a few times before. So we got some depression and we might be vomiting up the cheese curls. Fat snowflakes keep on falling. It dusts the concrete, the vending machine, and even the short curls of Demian's hair. So that might be like a wet snow then. Because I only really see like the big fat snowflakes if it's like a wet snow. This would be great for snowballs or like making snowfolk. Damn, we can still hear the music from here. They pull up their jacket's hood around their neck and kick the side of the machine again. Come on already. God, they can still hear the music. It's faint, but undoubtedly there. They spent some of their dwindling cash on these cheese curls. And by God, they're gonna get those cheese curls. It's all they're gonna have to eat tonight anyway. Demian portioned out their ramen to last until their next paycheck. Taking any extra would lead to them needing to skip a meal at some point. Come on, give it! Demian kicks the machine for the third time. The bag is stuck in the inner— fuck. Wobbles, crinkles, and flops forward, but it won't fall. Come on! Why are they getting so frantic? Are they about to have another breakdown? I mean, it'd be fair if you did. Like, Shit sucks right now. It's understandable to have a breakdown. Demian hopes not. They can't afford it. They can't afford to quit their stupid job of cleaning up shit and blood and piss and sweat-drenched masterses. If they do, they'll lose their roach-filled room and their revolving door of awful neighbors. And if they do that, there's no way in hell they'll ever be able to achieve that dream of working until they die instead of doing something meaningful with their life like they already wanted, and Demian can't have that. Can they? Demian needs to be a cog in the machine because there's no spot for spiteful and hateful assholes who wanted to make music of their own and actually do something with their life instead of cleaning the filth of these pieces of shit over and over without any respite until they kick their miserable bucket and... I can't fucking do this anymore! Demian kicks the machine with a hard weep. There isn't even a dent in the side. The cheese curls finally dropped into the slot. It's an insult at this point. Demian kneels in front of the machine and shoves their faces into their hands. They hate the sobbing that bursts from their throat. They already went through this last month. There's no reason to be blubbering all over again. I mean, to be fair, trying to suppress your emotions just make them come out anyway. You can only really mitigate it. You can't stop it. It's like a river. You can dam it up, but eventually there's gonna be a fucking flood. It's humiliating. It's not about the cheese curls, but it sure was the last straw. The tears burned down their cheeks. It feels like acid. Demian Zhao, 22 years old, is on the fast track to waste their entire life away. And instead of trying to fix it, they're bawling over their own fate like some helpless baby. I mean, sometimes you need that cry to reset. It's okay. It'll be okay. Demian's pretty sure they would have been crying in the snow for a good 15 minutes if the sound of puking didn't snap them out of it. They scramble to their feet quickly, scrubbing their face of any tear stains and sniffing the snot back in. The gurgling is faint on the ears, but there's no way to ignore it. They don't approach out of the goodness of their heart. If someone's spewing their guts in the building's vicinity, Demian's the one who has to clean it. It's just easier to scrub off fresh vomit instead of leaving it overnight. Yeah, although, if you leave it to freeze, it might be... Actually, no, that would be fucking awful. Never mind, that's a shitty idea. Yeah, fresh would be the better way to do it. Never mind. Rounding a corner, they come face to face with a woman doubled over and barfing into the building's dumpster. Hey, they say, voice steady but unsure. Hey, you good? She's puking a lot. Demian tries to get her attention again. Dude. Hey, dude? The barfing ceases. Hopefully, permanently, they think, and the woman snaps her head up. Marion? What the fuck are you doing here? Wide eyes behind crooked glasses peer right at them. Thick hair sticks to her face. Even in the dead of winter, she's sweating. It's so bad that the shimmer of neon sign hanging above the hotel is reflected on her temple. Oh, damn. The look in her eyes is indescribable. It's not the kind of look that any human would reasonably give to someone. Instincts kick in. Oh, different character, okay. Instincts kick in. The woman looks like she's barely pushing past 5 feet. Her legs dangle a good length off the ground. They can't get a decent gauge of her build underneath the oversized sweater, but Demian thinks they could take her on in self-defense if needed. They were definitely underweight themselves, but they're more than 6 feet. They could just give her a jab in the neck and run, right? She's silent. Very silent. Demian can't even hear her breathing. She's going through the motions. Her shoulders and chest rise and fall like expected, but the sounds of her gasping fall just short of Demian's ears. They take a step back. Why did their hands become so clammy? A thrashing heartbeat brings pain to Demian's chest. Her gaze feels wrong. That's the only way Demian can describe it. Wrong. As if she's looking past them, past their skin into their bones. Please, don't look for me. Demian snaps out of their unsettled stupor. Huh? I don't want it anymore, please. Her voice is hoarse and low. Don't bring it back. I just want to rest. Demian would be lying if they implied they understood what the fuck she was on about. Yeah, I would. Are you drunk? She doesn't respond. Before Demian can stop her, she drops to the ground and takes off running. Stumbling, more like it. Yeah, definitely drunk. She didn't lunge at Demian or make any threats, but their unease doesn't lighten. Something's wrong. Demian looks towards the dumpster. Murmuring drifts out from the cold metal. The more Demian strains their ears, the clearer it becomes in their mind. As if a voice was cooing directly in the folds of their brain, in a warm embrace made to lure. Whatever's in there, it's not just the results of a drunkard emptying her stomach. Oh, we got some fucking SCP shit. I can sense your pain, your anguish. I feel the whispers of a broken heart clinging to life, your strength sapped away by those who have wronged you. But I can repair you. I can gift you the strength of a god. Together, we can lash out against those who have hurt you in kind. And all you have to do is let me in. Yeah, know what? Let's get this party started. We're gonna look! It sounds beautiful. Just one little peek couldn't hurt. Right? Demian stands on their tiptoes and leans in. They'll only take one look and back away if it's dangerous. A look doesn't hurt. A look can't ruin their life. A word could, but not a look. Alright, there is an in-depth text portrayal and non-graphic visual pertaining to body horror. The text portrays Demian being choked out and not belonging in their own skin. Gore. A bloodless visual depiction of gore within an illustration. Depiction involves typo, tendrils wrapped around a character's neck covering their hands. Lying on top of the trash is a thick coating of dark slime. It has a strange tint to it. The best comparison Demian had was like the color of the needles on evergreen trees. So like pine green? There's none of the luster that the leaves flaunted. If anything, this thing seemed to defy the laws of physics. Any and all light that would illuminate its mass simply seemed to vanish before it could hit the shivering ooze. Holy shit, Demian exhales. It's breathing. Oh. Tendrils of its slime inch forward before pulling back. It brings Demian back to the days when they were little and watching the waves on the beach. It's like a little piece of the ocean, corrupted and plopped down in the slums of this wretched city. Echoed promises fill their vapid little head. Its voice is heavenly, mesmerizing even. It pulsates, resonating with their very core, as if it wants to be a part of them. Hey, awesome Whisper, I don't know what you did, but you did it and I'm proud. No, not that it wants to be. It is a part of them. Oh. It's a part of Demian that's been separated from them since the day they were born. All that's happening now is an inevitable reunion. Yes, that's right. That's why they've always felt so empty and incomplete. Because they were never whole. But they will be now. Lured closer and closer towards it, Demian can't even help himself. Reaching out, bony fingers brush against the creature to feel the purring of its heartbeat against Demian's fingertips. Oh. Bond with the other for the first time. The first step. It clamps on tight. Oh shit! Bad choice, Zhao. The trance is shattered. What the fuck were they thinking? This thing isn't a part of them. It didn't whisper about the powers of a god and whatever it was so awful it made it... Blech. Let's try that again. What the fuck were they thinking? This thing isn't a part of them. It didn't whisper about the powers of a god, and whatever it was so awful it made that girl sick. That couldn't have been their own idea. Demian's smarter than that. It's already too late to rectify their error. They yank their hand out of the dumpster, the force of which they pull back sends Demian tumbling to the ground. The fluffy snow does nothing to break their fall. The creatures latched onto their hand, now. I cannot read, shit. The creature latched onto their hand now, sent from its metal prison and into the world. Demian tries to fling it off, and then pry it away from their hands. Nothing helps. It only gets worse. Sprung into motion, the monster crawls up their skin. It doesn't stop. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't even hesitate. Get it off, get it off, get it off, get away from me! There is a voice in Demian's head that is not their own. Bloom. Need to bloom. Bloom and set free. Oh. It won't stop. Nothing Demian can do makes it stop. It's upon their throat in the blink of an eye. Unpleasant sensations sink through the panic that dulls Demian's pain. Prickling skin, his sweat alerts them to the tightness around the thin neck. The windpipe squeezes shut. It's as if Demian's a mere observer in their own body. Demian tries to grasp for air, or gasp for air even. The mouth is forced open by the creature. Throat and nostrils are filled with squirming maggots, melted and swirled together into a barely conscious mucus. What? Invading, swarming, sprouting. Eyes wide, screaming silence, roots under the skin, wrapping around bones. Muscle fusing with tendrils. Heartbeats thumping, vision fading, thoughts slurring and dimming. Become one with me. Oh. Chapter 2. God in the Gutter. January 8th. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Let's see, so I generated a passenger and used AI pathfinding to be able to get to shortest distance. Then I calculated how much tip a passenger would pay you. Oh, neat. Are you making like a taxi game? Also, I have messages. I'm going to check them really quick. Hold on, because seeing that there is bothering me. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the flock. It never followed, huh? It's okay. Thank you for the follow now. Okay, we shall continue. Let's see, body horror. There are two portrayals of body horror. One of them involves a visual dream sequence of a silhouette's neck bending unnaturally and becoming a vessel for a parasite. Another is more low-key, instead showing someone's reflection with black tendrils under the skin. Blood and gore. Dream sequence involves bloody red tendrils ripping from a silhouette along with one eye bursting. Silhouette does not have eyes, but a red flower explodes in the general area of its left eye. Dysphoria. There are two mild text portrayals of dysphoria, one of which implying a character as a child who hated being in their skin so badly. Another one has Demian saying they're a grown-ass guy who can look at their reflection without getting dysphoric. Additionally, there's one abstract visual of their reflection having black scribbles over its face. A la the intro screen. Okay. Abuse. Demian's abusive family is portrayed through the text in the dream sequence, which involves their parents always screaming at one another and getting physical. They could not catch a break. Ever since they were little, Demian had always dreamt in red. Red is a beautiful, meaning-filled color. It is loud, angry even, but it is unapologetic and passionate. It is the color of blood and hate, but also the color of love and desire. When they were growing up, there wasn't much love to go around. They dream of their family, always screaming at one another, or at a small child who couldn't fight back. In these dreams, they are never called Demian. A name that hasn't been used in years is what rolls off the tongue. Pa's anger drips red from his teeth, like venom from a snake's fangs as he yells in that booming voice of his. Ma's knife is splashed with red one day, when the screeching reaches a crescendo and Pa puts his hands on her throat. And of course, their tongues would be stained with hatred when their ire turns toward the sole child in the family. As a child, Demian couldn't explain why they hated being in their own skin. When they dream of their face, they see a reflection of a kid who wanted to go to the beach so badly, but couldn't stand the idea of their swimsuit. A child who wanted to bite all their skin off in hopes they were just in a cocoon that housed their real self. But this isn't a shell, and there's no gorgeous butterfly waiting to emerge. Desires in a language they don't understand buzz and itch under their awful face. When bitter sobs bruise their ribs, the tears are red. And now they dream of blood filling their lungs and spilling through their lips. Wait. No. It's not blood. And their body isn't trying to expel it. Oh. It's an infection. And in the dream, their body welcomes it. Their mind screams to purge it, but the sack of meat and bones doesn't listen. Every fiber of them is warped and distorted, overwhelmed by the parasite as it settles deep in their chest. They try to cry out, but their voice is no longer their own. Oh. From the look in their eye to the twitch of their fingers, this monster bleeds every drop of Demian's soul out and settles comfortably inside their shell. They dream of their flesh becoming nothing more than fertilizer for invasive weeds, with scarlet flowers unfurling toxic petals around their skin. An eyeball that used to belong to them bursts, and Demian awakens with a start. Damn, it's a hell of a nightmare. It's incredibly late at night, or early in the morning depending on their perspective. Demian sits up slowly. It feels like there's razor blades in their skull, sliding around and slicing up bits and pieces of their brain. Struggling to lift an arm, Demian drags a hand down their face. Sleep doesn't come easy to Demian these days. Well, it never has been easy, but they've graduated to a full-on insomniac in the past year or so. They're lucky if they get a few hours of sleep every day. Of course, Demian knows full well that this is partially their own fault. If they actually worked a normal schedule instead of taking every slot available to get out of this shithole and stop scrolling through their phone for hours at night, who knows? Maybe the bags under their eyes wouldn't be so dark. Bleary eyes glare at the alarm clock on the nightstand. The display reads 4:33 a.m. in bright red. Ah, that's just great. Like it's not already hard enough to sleep. A rat skitters across the carpet. Ugly bastard too, with a scar across his left eye. Demian makes no motion to get rid of him. They sure don't feel like they've slept for 3 hours straight. Demian flops down on the pillow and stares directly upward. Their entire stay here, Demian has never been able to figure out how the hell someone got coffee stains on the popcorn ceiling. You know, that's a damn good question, but we got bigger problems. How did they get to the bed anyway? Last Demian remembers, they had been grabbing some cheese curls in the vending machine outside when... Oh, fuck. Demian throws the sheets off their legs and sprints to the bathroom. Something is wrong. Something is inside them. And they need to get it out. Somehow. How? They don't know. God, frantic thoughts pour through their mind again and again. Why did they do this to themselves? God, dumbass, just couldn't resist the noise that some alien vomit slime creature made, huh? Eyes burning in the sudden light, Demian looks over themselves countless times. There's nothing wrong with their limbs physically. No twisted knocks claws to replace their nails, no thorns bursting from their skin. The only difference Demian can see is their left hand. The abrasion has completely healed over. There isn't even a scar where the cut should be. Everything looks fine. Not a single monstrous distortion of their body. A twinge of regret prods their chest at this. Demian figures it's a good idea to push aside the implications of that for now. There's just one last thing. Peeling the tape from the edges of the trash bag, Demian steals their nerves. There's going to be nothing wrong with them. Their face will be unchanged. Fortunately, or unfortunately. Just one little peek is all they need to reassure themselves. They're a grown-ass guy, they can look at their reflection without getting dysphoric. Shaking hands uncover their mirror. Yeah, they're fine. Their face looks the same as it always has. They don't like it, but it's there. With any luck, they think while letting go of the tarp. Last night was just the feverish byproduct of an exhausted mind. For better or worse, Demian is completely unchanged. Sorry, Mom was hollering. But you have changed in ways you cannot see. That's Demian's own voice. They whirl around to face the mirror. Again. Oh, hi! The trash bag is no longer a protective shield against an uncomfortable image. Instead, a curtain to yank away and reveal something much stranger. Their reflection lolls its head to the right. A dull smile curls on its lips. There you are, it says in Demian's own voice. I can't do much right now while you sleep, you know. Demian blinks. They blink again. One more time. Ah, shit, we got a mirror doppelganger. Rubs their eyes. And one final blink just to be sure. Their response is simple. Oh man, on one hand, who are you? On the other hand, actually, okay, no, I can't save right now. Okay. Hey man, what the fuck? That's the one I want to pick because it's just thematically perfect. What the fuck? Auto saves before every choice, so that's good to know. Yeah, they're taking this about as well as anyone could expect. The reflection scoffs. You act as if I simply fell upon you without your knowledge. You let me in. You listened, and you reached out. I simply reached back and closed the gap between us. Is it that thing? Its lips move on its own, body shifting and adjusting out of free will. The reflection leans forward, its elbows on the cracked ceramic. Demian stays put. I know what you're thinking, it says with a dull trill in the back of its throat. It's like, hey bitch, your thoughts aren't private. I see everything. I hear the whispering thoughts in the forefront of your brain. Yes, I am the one who called to you in the snowstorm. And you are the one who answered me. What do you mean you hear my thoughts? Hang on. That didn't sound right. It takes a good second for Demian to word their next question. It feels like one slip of the tongue could be the equivalent of a landmine. Demian's tone is wary as they ask, what do you mean you hear my thoughts? Don't you know? We share a body now, you and me. There's no mockery in its voice. Amusement, yes, but reflection hasn't spoken in a taunting manner. See, listen, man, I have one dusty little corner for all my violent, goring thoughts. I'm gonna ask you politely to stay out of that corner, okay? Just this one thing. Think of it like the piss corner. It's like, look, imagine all these doors. You see this one door right here that says caution, hazard. Stay the fuck out of that door. Our minds are connected now. My mind is yours and yours is mine. Initial gut reactions confirm that, yes, hive minds and identity erosion is still a terrifying concept to Demian. Literally. It clicks its tongue, shaking its head at Damian's hesitation. Oh, don't be afraid. My form is unraveled to its faintest traces. I can't do much of anything without your permission. For now, anyway. I don't like that for now. The fuck you mean for now? Yeah, what does that mean? Without the embrace of a human, I cannot bloom to my full potential. So, you need me, is what you're saying. Yes, that is right. I need you, and you need me. Oh, great. We're in an abusive relationship with a parasite. 1,000 things Demian could say worm through their head. Eventually they settle on one. It's kind of, let's see, the cycle of abuse completes another loop. Yeah, pretty much. It's actually kind of reminding me of, like, the Mind Flayer worm. A little bit. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna leave it going for a second. I'll be right back. I'm being summoned. I am back. At last. I might have also stolen a detour to the basement to check on laundry. Oh, I thank everyone for their immense patience. Oh, fuck. Resume. Okay. Now, I'm curious about both of these things. I do want to know what blooming entails, but I want to ask what happened, because they did just get, like, yeeted from someone else's stomach. Well, what happened to you? Oh. Hold on. Well, what happened to you? Demian doesn't realize her shoulders are sagging in relief until they tack the cover to the side. You've been talking a big game about how you're undone, how the other host couldn't fix you, but you never told me how it happened. I have been without another for longer than you can comprehend. It speaks with an eerie calm. So, does it mean, like, another parasite like them? Or do they mean, like, fuck. Or do they mean that they have had other hosts in the past, but have gone long periods of time without one? Uh-oh. Let's see, over time, bits and pieces of me have evaporated or been cut off from my core. It is a miracle I found a human who could become one with me. It does mean it's been too long without another host, yeah. Ah. That doesn't answer my question. Then what will? Stop talking circles and give me a straight answer. Where did you come from? Why didn't you have a host for so long? Why were you being torn apart? How did you get out? How did you have to latch on to me and not her? It laughs in Demian's voice. The noise has a strange hollowness deep inside. My, aren't you full of questions? I will answer them all in due time. Just not in this moment. Frustration boils up in Demian's guts, like a soup left on the burner. Whoa. They point a finger at the parasite. We are literally sharing a fucking body. You're in my head, in my innards, and God knows you're gonna be eating what I eat. So I think I'm entitled to some answers. Pardon? Would you be happy if I started rooting around your brain for your life story? Fuck, it had a good point there. There's still shit even Demian himself doesn't want to mentally unpack right this second in their drafty motel bathroom. Maybe when they had the money to vent to a therapist. It's a pipe dream, of course, but an unreachable goal is better than being aimless. Besides, it says, leaning forward in the reflection, you have no worries about any harm being brought to you through me. After all, any pain you feel will be shared by me. Sounds like the worst of the worst in your case, Demian says, perking an eyebrow up. Can't do shit without me, and if I get hurt, you get hurt. So why even bond, huh? Not like I'm the cream of the crop when it comes to humans anyway. Because unfortunately for you, I cannot exist in my entirety without a human host. If I could bloom by myself, I would. But that is not how I was created. How you were created? Are we talking about, like, just mere existence, like, oh, I was created? Or are we talking, like, literal creation here? I don't like the sound of blooming. Yeah, neither do I. Sorry, I am tacking a bit from the soup. The soup cough. The after food cough, honestly. Doesn't matter what I eat. I always end up packing after, even if I have a salad with no dressing. You know what? Let's test out an orange one. So I'm in control here. Demian scrapes up some modicum of confidence. That what you're saying? What gives you that idea? For once, it seems the reflection is caught off its guard. It's a blink and you miss it moment. In the next breath, it paints its carefree ruse back on its face. Admittedly, they almost blinked. Thank God they didn't, though. It's about time Demian gets to peruse each little twitch the other makes anyway. Of course, if it soothes your heart, we can both agree to that notion. I just want to know your thought process, it says. Demian looks up at the cobweb ceiling, perking the corner of their lip upward. Think about it. Like you said, you literally need me. Me? I can live without you. If I stuck my fingers down my throat and puked you up right this moment, I could shake off this night as a fever dream and go on living like I have been. They laugh dryly and go on. But you? Well, you'd be shit out of luck. You could strike gold again and find someone else like me the first time, rebuild just fine, or your next 50-something tries could be like Dumpster Girl over there. It's not smiling anymore. Yes, you're right. When it's put that way, you are the one who calls the shots, so to speak. Damn right I am. By comparison, Demian's grin is huge. They look like someone told the Cheshire Cat he can have all the wet food he wants and an extra treat after dinner. You want to earn space in this meat sack? You gotta play it by my rules. Or you can try your luck with someone else. You got me? Fine, okay? If it brings you comfort, then we will go that way. I'll let you stick around until you're able to bloom. You hear that? I'm letting you stay. I could evict you whenever, but I'm not going to let you come before my own health, alright? You're not hurting me, I'm not hurting you, and that's how we're gonna play it. Very well. Clearly, it has more to say, but doesn't. Demian can feel an inkling of a thought forming in its mind, but they can't decipher what it means. Probably just throwing a fit it can't run roughshod through them for nutrients or something. It's getting awkward referring to this parasite as just Demian's reflection. Unwilling to bond or not, it's still a living thing with an identity of its own. And calling it their reflection sounds weird too. Demian can kind of glean they only perceive it as their mirror image because it's the easiest for their brain to wrap around. Something like that, anyway. Hey, Demian asks, do you have a name? I used to. Over my eons in oblivion, though, it has eroded from me. Oh. We probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyway. Like, Worcestershire. They look away. Do you want me to give you one? You don't have to say yes or make it your whole identity if you don't want it. Could be just a nickname or something. Whatever makes you most comfortable. How about Slice, with a Y? You know, to be cool? Wait, no. That's edgy. I'm supposed to be out of my edgy phase by junior high. Oh, Demian. My sweet summer child. The edgy phase never ends. You just hone it to a much sharper cut. And learn to control it. It flows well, Slice says. I like it. You sure? Yes. Alright, Slice it is. Slice smiles wider than it has during their entire conversation. Then I hope we will get along well, you and I. Demian can't help but feel like they cut a deal with a god in the gutter. Oh. And as if on cue, the landline phone in the main room blares its distressing tones. They jolt and whip their head around to face the bathroom entrance. Shit, that's probably Carl or Margaret, they think. What do those fuckers want now? Demian looks back to give Slice a goodbye. All they see now is their own face. Fuck it. Sharing a body with an alien parasite can wait. Right now, they've got more pressing matters on their hands. It's like 5 in the morning. What the fuck do they want? Oh, sweet, sweet Coco, you're so warm. They pick up the phone and do their best to sound like they haven't been up for half an hour already. So 5:30, but still. Zhao speaking. Hey, Demian, it's Margaret. Dude, it's 5 in the morning. I work second and third shifts. I know, but our morning housekeeper Isaac just called out and we don't have anyone else to fill a slot. Tell Isaac to go stuff it and get his ass in here. Come on, Maggie, please. I'm exhausted. Look at my schedule. I'm supposed to be on second with overtime today. Demian's taking this Slice thing awfully well, if they do say so themselves. They've gotten pretty decent at packing away trauma in their brain to sort through later. Compartmentalization! It reminds them of shoving their summer wardrobe into neat little boxes to get enough space for winter gear. Problem is, this kind of goes beyond trauma and into life-threatening events that anyone would panic over. Not really something they could stuff into the mental closet to deal with on a better day. You having cozy food and drink makes me think it's a scotcheroo kind of night, to be honest. Ooh. Why not have a little scotcheroo? And hey, maybe they're imagining Slice up. At any point, they could wake up severely ill next to the motel's dumpster, covered in snow and 2 seconds away from death because they ate alien goo and it's liquefying their intestines in real time. Oh no. That's also a possibility. Look, Demian, you know I never want to do this to you, but you really, really need someone to fill in and clean up before you... You know what, I can talk with Dad, okay? We can probably get Samuel or someone to take your other shift today. We just really need you on this. Are we having to clean up after another dead body? Oh, so Samuel can take another shift, but you need me for this one. I see what you're doing. Yeah, sure. Oh my god, thank you so much. I'll talk to Dad right now, okay? Or alright? Alright. Margaret slams the phone down on her side. Someone kill me already. It whispers to Demian's mind again. Could never harm you. Safe with me. Yeah. Can't bloom without a host. Don't want to risk it. Try someone else. It'll take a while to get used to having 2 voices in their head. If this were a horror movie, Demian thinks they'd be the first to die. Yeah, they would be the token minority who thinks this is a cute rom-com cottage in the forest getaway. They'd blissfully skip their way down the creaky stairs and into the cluttered basement without so much as a flashlight. Oh, and oops, there goes their head, chainsawed off by the slasher before Demian can make it down to the last step. They're not final girl material. They're too stupid for that slot. Demian isn't even a girl. Ain't that just piss in their cornflakes? But this ain't a nice spring break. There's no splinter-filled cabin in the heart of the woods. No serial killer that wasn't hugged enough as a kid, so now he skins people for fun. And this isn't a horror movie. This is real life. And Demian has to clock in at 7 a.m., running off 3 hours of sleep, and pretend they don't have a vomit goo alien wrapped around their ribs. Ain't that fantastic? Sorry. Morning, Sam. Margaret. This isn't a horror movie. Correct, it's a horror game. And they're the pro tags, so they may not be final girl material, but they'll be surviving. Maybe, if I play my cards right. Hey, have you seen Demian? Oh, they're cleaning one of the rooms. Don't bother them. Wow, another? Yeah, Carl's not too happy about it, but the corpse last week put them in a clean freak mood. I don't blame them. Don't take this as fact or anything, but I think dealing with all that fucked with their head, like, a lot more than they want to admit. No shit, that thing was rotten when they found it. No, seriously, I know they're acting like it's all water under the bridge, but Demian's just kind of been different ever since. I don't know how, but something's changed. I think even if this was a horror movie, Demian would survive. I'd like to think so. But then again, I think Trinket has other ideas. I don't know. I think I'm seeing too deep into stuff. I wish Demian would just talk to someone or say something. Yeah, not as a final girl, no. The final NB. You would not like what role Demian would play in a horror movie. I mean, if they're the slasher, that's fine. They're still surviving! And hell, they might be thriving! Leave them alone. Maybe they just don't want to talk about personal stuff at work. Maybe. Chapter 3. Bitter White Lies. Oh, so we're doing like a good time skip there. It's like almost 2 weeks later. Isaac, I'm clocking out. Demian shouts as they hurl a vomit-soaked rag into their cleaning cart. The young man cowering behind a stack of yellowing towels peeps his face out. I didn't know you were still here. They snap a dark laugh with no humor, wiping the last bit of sludge from their mouth. Yeah, blame Carl for that. Guess whose rent got coming up and none of their overtime from last week? He's a cruel man. Has only given you misery and frustration. He does not deserve you. Tell me about it. Isaac lifts up a tower made of... Fuck, I can't read. Isaac lifts up a tower made of 5 or 6 towels. Each one is a pristine, fat rectangle. Demian can never get their folds that clean. While pushing a room door open with his foot, he shouts into the hallway, "Jesus, you tried talking to Margaret yet?" Tried is an understatement. It wouldn't be good to give up in this situation. And plus, the try it as an understatement implies that Demian did try to talk to her. And while I know that they do more than likely hate her, it would not be best to talk shit about the daughter of the man who is letting you stay here, so we're gonna commiserate. Demian shakes their head. She tried, but she can't get it. Isaac sighs and looks down. His thin lips tighten to a slight grimace. Hey, eye candy! Hope you're doing good! The fucking emotes! I fucking love that little face. That's so cute. Welcome in. Oh dear. Isaac sighs and looks down, his thin lips tighten into a slight grimace. Really? What happened? Maggie had a fit with Carl last week. Cash felt light, so I brought it up with her. One thing led to another, and next thing I know, they're just screaming at each other. And guess who still doesn't have their overtime? Oh. Isaac plops the towels down on the bed's corner. Guess it didn't pan out. You could say that. One of these days, I'm gonna fucking quit. Just straight up, on the spot. No 2-week notice. I'm serious. Why not do it now? I need money to survive. Demian shakes their head. It's just not the right time yet. I gotta get my shit together before I can do anything big. Just wait. I can set you free. Simply need to rebuild first. Don't. I'm gonna fucking mess. Oh, I have become more. Demian had been forcefully turned into a vessel for an ancient titan rebuilding itself from death a few weeks ago. But it feels like nothing in their life has changed much since then. Wake up, go to work, exhaust themselves on overtime, daydream about freedom, clock out, get shafted again, wander around Kingsfield until they can sleep. Lather, rinse, repeat. If anything, Demi would more or less say they've been worse off since then. The only changes they've felt are hot flashes melting into paralyzing chills, unbearable spikes of hunger like they've been starved for weeks, and the vomit. Be patient. You better not put me in the hospital. I only have $5 to my name right now. You'll be fine. Stop worrying. I can't afford an organ transplant. I can't even afford a checkup. Demian's motto has always been, if you ignore the check engine light for long enough, it might go away. It used to be literal back when they were allowed to drive Pa's car, but the sentiment still holds water. Even with all their hard work and overtime, Demi doesn't have health insurance. I mean, they're being paid under the table, so not like they would even be allowed to have it. The most they can do is grit their teeth and pretend everything is okay. Their uniform may stink of bleach, but the urge to bash someone's brains in is mild today. Overall, things could be worse. Probably. They don't even have dental! God, that's worse, and our teeth are luxury bones. God, I need a cigarette, Demian says to no one. But I can't have one, because apparently that'll fuck up my health, and it's more expensive than ever. Demian should really quit smoking. They know this is in their heart. Or they know this in their heart. It's bad for them. It makes Slice feel terrible, and they're basically huffing arsenic. Yeah. That said, can you really blame a guy for pissing and moaning when that piece of shit mayor, Edgar Hawthorne, imposes a tax on their cancer sticks? Good old Eddie should be lucky they just want to smoke. If they were a little less tired, they'd be throwing a brick through his office window right about now. Yeah, throw it to the power! Or fight the power. Row, row, row. Oh, fuck. Have you tried weed? Isaac asks. Isaac, I can barely afford ramen. Damien's response is flat. No. It's like he's waving it in front of their face just to taunt them. Isaac's gloating, that's the only way they can explain it. He knows Damien's always 2 bad shifts away from being homeless, yet here he is now. They've never said it out loud to him, but it's obvious to anyone who has eyes. As if to prove their point, Isaac shrugs and keeps going. You should. It's the best way to relax after a shift, I think. There's no health risks either. You can't get addicted like you can with smokes. Dude, shut up! Isaac doesn't know how good he has it, does he? They keep their eyes trained ahead of them, refusing to give him the pleasure of seeing just how much he's getting under their skin. Yeah, that's it. Deep breaths. Just relax. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going out, Demian says with a harsh two-fingered salute. Leaving, I mean. Going into the city. That's right, Demian. Walk away. Ain't worth trading blows over this. He wouldn't learn from it anyway. No, cause like... I do remember the mindset, and it's like... You kind of reach a point where you realize that a lot of malignant behavior directed to you isn't always blatant. Sometimes it's just obliviousness. And people don't know that they're having an adverse effect, even when they mean well. But then again, a lot of people are directly shitty to Demian, so they may be on the mark with it, I don't know. Oh, we need to see more of the character interactions. Let's see, do you think they can have weed if they don't have dental? I mean, as far as I know, weed doesn't fuck with your teeth. And Demian's well old enough now that they shouldn't have any ill effects like brain shrinkage from it. Would join you, but I've still got an hour left. There are more ways to have weed than just smoking it. That's true, too. But also, unfortunately, Demian is, fuck busted broke. So they don't really got many options for that. Isaac's voice sounds light in tone. They think he's joking, but they're not too sure anymore. It's fine, don't worry about it, they drawl. Don't get your balls in a twist. I need groceries. Ran out last week. I already skipped breakfast because I had nothing to eat. They've already eaten too much for a guy living paycheck to paycheck, but Demian can't help it anymore. The hunger is already growing. Demian thinks what they're doing is the right thing, but if it deepens any further, they'll pass out. Tell me about it. I got a scholarship and all, but that doesn't cover everything. Still gotta pay for food, rent, the works. At least you have a scholarship. At least you get to go to college. At least you have money for weed. At least you have a family willing to be your safety net. He doesn't know just how good he has it. Does he? No. Wouldn't you love to show him? He wouldn't understand. That sucks, Demian mumbles before they end up doing something violent. I'd better get going, actually. Train might leave without me. See you. See, Demian unfortunately would somehow get the shit that makes you puke your teeth out. Oh no. Trinket is the type of character created to give Demian a pot of stew, only to reveal it's a pot of one-day blinding stew. Oh no. It's okay, they like the blinding stew. Demian wouldn't exactly call himself germophobic, but they aren't the kind of guy who can stand out in the subway without a face mask on. Honestly fair. They've come down with too many colds and other bugs to think otherwise. I think it's perfectly reasonable. You simply wish to take care of yourself. It is not shameful to wish for that. I guess so. Just ironic considering— Whoa! Shit. That's the alarm. Guess so, just ironic considering whatever the hell you and I have going on. I don't think I'm exactly the paragon of health. The fluorescent lights bathe the cold tile floors in a sickly yellow and white. Demian thinks it makes their hair look even greasier than it usually is. And I wonder why their dysphoric ass hates looking in the mirror. Demian glances up at the clock, 2 minutes until their train pulls into the station. About time, I've been waiting forever. Worst evil alien parasite you know made a great point. Sometimes it's just how it be. God, I hate taking the metro and the bus for the record. Demian can't afford a car or anything, but the state of Kingsfield's public transportation is abysmal. There's a lot of those moments in veins like Tapeworms, to be honest. Chapter 6 had it in spades at first. Well, I mean, that's kind of how you end up being stuck in abusive relationships, is the abusive partner will occasionally have points. And it makes you wonder, like, oh, am I imagining things? Oh, is it really that bad? Oh, just like constant hypotheticals that make you doubt yourself. Buses are late all the time, trains get delayed, and there are just days that are so miserable and overcrowded it's easier to walk. It's not really a long walk either. Maybe 20 or 30 minutes until they get out of their slums and into the city. The problem is that today is a horrible day for walking. Until they were 12 or 13, Demian had been forced into taking ballet by their family and it fucked up their feet. Ah, shit. It'd been Ma's doing specifically. No child of hers was going to be a lazy bum who threw themselves into their studies or, God forbid, something they actually enjoyed. Took Demian years to throw enough of a fit to get out of ballet and take guitar lessons, and baseball, of course. She can't have a child who wasn't physically active in some way, but it was too late for their poor body. Ballerina feet is no fucking joke. Demian's 22 and they have foot problems like a 50-year-old. Can you blame them for taking the train when their feet ache so much they could pass out? Oh shit. And they don't even have money for, like, good insoles. And they've probably got, like, the $10 shoes from the dollar store. Like, maybe, like, Dollar Tree. And yes, you get me! The familiar screeching of the train's brakes fills their ears. And Demian bites back the urge to step on the tracks. And with that is where we will leave off until next time. Oh. It's just a few minutes after that, but hey, you know. Because the timer went off for a little bit ago. And see, Damian's shoes are probably more duct tape than shoe at the moment. True, but on the plus side, they can get the novelty duct tape and make the shoes look however they want. Eh? Just a little silver lining. Oh. Oh, poor Demian. I'm pretty sure they're fucked. So true, it's like crock jars! Yeah! But we're gonna go...